Stefan has no time. As he is dean now, he is so busy that he asked me to take over. And of course I do that. We are friends. We are very close. So yeah, this year, 2020, a crazy year, not one of the best one, I guess. Um, but it has its goods, and we only have to pick the good things and forget the bad things, and then we will get around on that. Yeah, I was thinking on, and I got the slides from him. We have this happy holiday get together, and yeah, I try to show you a little bit where he was living the last 3 years. And that was Finland. So let me start with that. The University of Manitoba campuses are located on original lands of Anishinaabe, Cree, Oikree, Dakota, and Dene people, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect the treaties that were made on these territories. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past. We dedicate ourselves to move forward in partnership with indigenous communities in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. So what we are looking at is Finland in a nutshell. And of course, it will be a little bit fun facts on Finland, and then some photos which I took the last 3 years on that. So Finland, and the original name is Suomi. The population is 5.5 million people only, -3 because my family and I are here now. The area is 338.455 square kilometers, and it's the 29th most populated country in Europe. We have at the moment 51 European countries, so it's quite at the lower end. Let's see a little bit on statistics, because every of these lectures has to include statistics, so I do the same. Finnish population, 5.5 million. World population at the moment, 7.125 billion. That makes a fraction of around 0.0771%, if I'm not calculating wrong. With that, if we look at the Finnish government consensus, they have a margin of error of about 1%. So that means, in a conclusion, we have a 50-50 chance that Finland doesn't exist at all. I can assure you Finland exists. I was living there for the past 3 years, and we will have a look on that. So I take you on this virtual journey, starting in Helsinki. We will go to Soirasaari, a little island in Helsinki, and to Porvoo. Then we made our way to Lahti, 100 kilometers north, where Stefan was living for the past 3 years, going to Tampere, then up to the north to Kuusamo, Rovaniemi, and then at the far north of Finland, 15 kilometers from the Norwegian border to Inari, and then back to Kolovesi and to Lahti. So let's see and start the journey on that. Yeah, Helsinki, Helsingfors. When you go to Helsinki, you see every street name is always in 2 languages. And that's because of the Swedish people. Helsinki was founded 1548 in the time of the Swedish colonization of King Gustav I. And the official name of Helsinki came then 1819. And from this time on, it was called Helsinki. It's the capital of Finland. It's the city's it's the most populated area in Finland with 1.2 million roughly. And as I said already, it's bilingual, Finnish and Swedish as official languages. So let's start. Yeah, that was a little bit a stroll through Helsinki, which is also called the White City on the Baltic Sea. And the closest city nearby is Tallinn. It's just 87 kilometers away from Helsinki, just across the Baltic Sea. And there are a lot of ferries day by day going there. And the Finnish people love to go to Tallinn because the alcohol in Tallinn is much cheaper. And it's a not so good experience coming back on the ferries than in the evening. But Tallinn itself, it's a beautiful city and very nice to see. Then we have in the east, 389 kilometers away from Helsinki, we have St. Petersburg. And in the west, we have Stockholm, 482. And just to say it, to Winnipeg, it's 6,716 kilometers. And then we are in Winnipeg. Yeah, let's see. We already walked through Helsinki, and I will show you Saari. That's one of my most famous places, which I like very much in these 3 years. And Saari is actually a little island in the Helsinki district. It's an open air museum, mainly with wooden buildings from all over Finland. And then they put these buildings on this island. It opened 1909 for visitors, and it's really the most peaceful outdoor atmosphere which you can have in the city. It's very popular by the people, but as it is an island, the people can go there and they won't see each other so much. It's like a time jump in the rural landscape from the older days, and very important, it has one nudist beach on the island, and it's the only one of 3 in the whole country. Whenever I saw Finnish people bathing, they never had anything on it. So I don't know why Wikipedia was telling me that's the important thing to tell on Soirasari. But let's have a look at the island and let's have a look at the buildings there. Yeah, as I said, the most relaxing atmosphere when you visit Helsinki, you can find on that island here. Yeah, Finland is one country and the first country in the world to publish its own set of emojis. So these little colorful pictures you can send in your WhatsApp messages. And this Finnish emoji collection explains some of the really hard to describe Finnish emotions, Finnish words or Finnish customs. And the most important one is, of course, that one. It's a kahvi. Kahvi is coffee. It's normally a light roast, and you can have aamukahvi or päiväkahvi or italkahvi and sauna kahvi. So it depends on the day. And the original, the amount which people consume is 7.8 kilograms per person and per year. Canada is very close, so 7 kilograms. And now, with me being in Canada, we will catch up with the Finnish people there when it comes to coffee. Yeah, what else can we say? This one is also a very important one, and this is called Kalsari Kenny, and that means actually pants drunk. And that means drinking at home alone in your underwear in front of television. That's some of the favorite hobbies, some Finnish doing it, and yeah, it can be quite fun, I guess. But you always have to keep in mind for a bottle of good wine, it would be 25 to 45 euros, which is around 39 to $70. So it's a little bit expensive to get drunk, but that's maybe why they are drinking alone, not to share the alcohol on that. Yeah, the other thing is that one here. When you see Finnish people waiting on the bus station, they stand as far as possible from each other. And in these COVID times, that brings big complaints to the Finnish government because they said distance should be 2 meters. And the Finnish people were complaining why they should come so close to each other. 2 meters, it's far too close for them. So that's the different cultures we have. Yeah, let's see a little town which is called Porvo, and it's very close to Helsinki. You can go there by car, by bus, or even by ship. And this Porvo or Borga, so it's called in Swedish, this area has been inhabited since the Stone Age, so very, very long time ago. It's one of the 6 medieval towns in Finland. It's the central point, is the stone and brick Porvo Cathedral, 35 kilometers from Helsinki, so only a short trip, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage on that. Let's have a look on that. It's very special because of these wooden houses, which the most of the old center of the town has. Yeah, Porvoo, this little town near Helsinki, is especially also nice in Christmas time, and they have a tradition that Santa Claus is coming and giving little presents to the kids. So from Helsinki, we going 100 kilometers roughly north to Lahti, the place where Stefan was living the past 3 years. And Lahti is situated at the Lake Vesijärvi. So it's one of the bigger lakes Finland has. It's first mentioned in 4045. It's the home of the Nokia Ironman competition. And no, he was not taking part in that. Um, Lahti got the European Green Capital Award for 2021. So next year, it's the European Green Capital. And it's the city of beer, whiskey, and bread. Yeah, they are brewing their own whiskey in Helsinki, and I was lucky enough to be there when they opened the first cask of whiskey after 7 years, and I have to admit, it was awful. The taste was not very nice, and until we discovered that we have to dilute this original whiskey 1 to 25, and then the taste was okay. But as I was living in Scotland, it's nothing against Scottish whiskey, I have to say. But let's see the city.
Sorry, Stefan, I just got confused. Which city is this again?
It's Lahti. Yeah, Lahti is located at the edge of Lakeland, and Lakeland, when you fly over Finland, you will see it. It has 188,000 lakes, small ones, bigger ones, and Lake Vesijärvi is one of those bigger ones which we have there in Finland. Yeah, let's see the lakes. Yeah, the city of Lahti is well known as the Chicago of Finland. And the reason for that is that ages ago there was a little bit of a mass shooting there with several dead people, unfortunately. And that's why, yeah, when you ask Helsinki people you are living in Lahti, they will say, oh God, no, you're living in this rude city. And yeah, some of the people, as you can see, luckily there's no German TÜV for them, but they have a very special kind of humor. Let's see some more lakes on that. Yeah, as you see, Finland is a lot about nature and being in nature and yeah, walking around and enjoying the place you are. So the next place I would like to bring you is Tampere. Tampere is yeah, more to the west of Lahti, and Tampere is 160 kilometers from Helsinki. It's situated at the Lake Nesijärvi and Lake Puhejärvi, and it's dubbed the Manchester of the North. So it's very commercial. It's also the sauna capital of the world when it comes to public saunas. And also you have to know that most of the Finnish apartments, they have a sauna already. And then there are the public places where you can go with your friends and have a sauna together there. So it's the sauna capital. It's also ranked number 26 on the list of the world's hipster cities. So if you live there, then you are belonging to the group of the hipster people. The other point is that, let me see, yeah, Tampere for us was the place to rent a mökki. What is a mökki? A mökki is a cottage normally found in the woods or next to a lake, and as primitive equipped as possible to get back to nature. So there are 1.8 million mökkis in Finland, and you remember 5.5 million people. So what's the mökki life about? And it's about doing nothing. It's the art of doing nothing. You go to this mökki, you stay there, you don't even move around there. You just enjoy being at a lake, sitting on the terrace, watching the nature, watching the day go by, watching the moon come up. And that's, yeah, relaxing, just switching off and doing nothing. Let's have a look at this mökki life. Yeah, when it comes to mökki, of course, it comes also to food. And there are some Finnish food variations. Some of them are homemade by myself, and not, of course, the coffee and the pulla. This is called pulla. It's a kind of a semi-sweet yeast thing with a cardamom as a spice on that. And this funny-looking bread is made actually of the bark of a bee of a birch. So it's a strange taste, but very healthy, obviously. And then you have variants of salmon, smoked salmon, salmon soup. You have variants of yeah, moose stew with potatoes. Barbecue is something which is very special in Finland. And then in September, we have the crayfish season. So you are catching them and with friends together. And that's a big event. Everyone is dressed up very nicely. And then you, yeah, open the crayfish, and who has all the parts as first on a toast, who has to make a toast. And that's where they normally comes with a lot of vodka. Yeah, some more smoked fish. And that's very important also. Wherever you go, you have a little pot with you. You can make a fire, and then you brew your kavi, your coffee on that. Or you do it in a more advanced way for a group of people. You can smoke some fish on the fireplace. This year is a reindeer with a marmalade made out of spruce needles, very tasty. And then you have the stew of a moose, also coming with some berries from the forest. Yeah, that's my favorite food. Finland, the land of fish and salmon. And I was then during this first lockdown starting to make sushi, and that's one of the plates I was doing on that time. Yeah, from Tampere, we go a little bit more far north. We go to Kuusamo. As you can see, Kuusamo is yeah, at the Russian border, 30 kilometers away from there. The area was inhabited by semi-nomad Sami people. It's actually 796 kilometers northeast of Helsinki. The average temperature there is -1 and the coldest temperature -48. So it can get quite chilly in that area. It's also the place where Finnish people go for winter sport. So it has the biggest winter sport center and that. But it's also a place where you can see in their habitat the wild brown bears. They are coming from the Russian border. And yeah, when you are lucky, you can see them and yeah, you can take some pictures of that. On that day, when I went there, we had 18 of these bears around us, and that was quite impressive, I have to say. Yeah, from Kuusamo, we are going even more far north. We are going to Rovaniemi, and also we are going a little bit to the winter side. So Rovaniemi was first mentioned 4053. It's located already in Lapland, at 6 kilometers south from the Arctic Cycle. Uncommonly, it's unilingual, so there is only Finnish-speaking municipality there, and the name Rovaniemi has its origin in Sami language. It's also the official hometown of Santa Claus, and I guess we will meet him soon. So there he is, Santa Claus, and the other guy obviously is me. And it's his hometown and the tourist spot. You can imagine that when Santa Claus is there. Yeah. Let's see. In Finland, and I have to show you this before we go to the pictures of Rovaniemi. It's famous for its moomins. This little fellow here is a moomin. It looks like a little bit like a hippopotamus, but now it's a character which is invented by Tove Jansson, a Swedish-speaking Finn, and she wrote several books on that. And I was growing up with these books. As you can see, they are translated in any language. And also you have collectibles like cups, pins, whatever you like from these moments. They are everywhere in Finland. And we will see them on the next pictures for sure. Yeah, actually on this trip, I would like to see for the first time the Northern Lights, but this view was so excellent that I was happy and not so disappointed that I didn't see the Northern Lights on that trip as well. Yeah, Rovaniemi, as I said, home of the Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is called Joulupukki in Finnish, and Joulupukki is often mentioned of having a wife, and it's Joulumuri, and it's the old lady Christmas. We tried to find out a little bit more about her, but she's very shy and she's not telling a lot on her. And even in the literature, you don't find so many things describing her and what she is doing. Yeah, we make our way now far north to Inari. And actually what we did on this trip was we went back to Helsinki, and in Helsinki we took the night train with the car, and then we went up to Inari. That's a very convenient overnight trip in the train, and then in the next morning you are arriving in Inari and the car gets unloaded and you can start your journey. So Inari is located at Lapland at Lake Inari, the same name. It's the home of the Sami parliament. It has officially 4 languages: Finnish, Sami, Inari Sami, Skolt Sami, and Northern Sami. The coldest temperatures is around -49 or 48.9 degrees, and it's the place to see the northern lights and the midnight sun in winter. In summer, it's the place to be to experience real monster mosquitoes and of course then the midnight sun. And the mosquitoes are really, really big. Some of my students showed me these mosquitoes, and I decided I will definitely go in wintertime there. On this trip, we were very, very lucky to see the Northern Lights every night. In this 1 week, we went there. And in Finland, the name of the Northern Lights is Revontulet, literally translated as firefox. The name comes from the rather beautiful myth that Arctic foxes produce the aurora borealis. And these fire foxes would run through the sky so fast that their large fury tails brushes against the mountains, and they created these sparks that lit up the sky then. It's a very nice myth to read and to think about when you see these northern lights in the sky. Yeah, from the far north, we are going back to Kolovesi. Kolovesi is a national park you can visit in every season. We went there in, oops, too fast. We went there in wintertime, and you can see some of the pictures we took there. Yeah, from Kolovesi, I have very nice memories because I was standing at this river and taking pictures, and my wife and my little boy, they were in the car, and my wife took pictures with their mobile. And when we went back in the evening looking at our pictures, then we saw on one of her pictures that directly behind me was a wolf. And I didn't see him, I didn't hear him, but he was on the picture, he was very visible on that. So we have to be careful when we go to nature. It's their region and not ours. Yeah, back to Lahti. Um, if you would be there at the moment, it's only 5.5 hours daylight, or I would say it's more than twilight than daylight. The winter solstice is in December 21, so today, and the distance from Lahti to the sun at the moment is 147.237 million kilometers. There's 6th of December, that's always the Finland Independence Day from Russia, and it's a big festive party what the Finnish people are celebrating, and then you can see them really dancing like crazy and making really a nice party out of that. It's also time when it gets dark outside, it's time for baking cookies, and that's what we are doing as well. With the help of, or I'm helping my little boy doing that, and the outcome looks like a little bit like that. That's in the oven, and you should really smell the cookies. That's really excellent. And yeah, that's what it is then all about. Not only these little few ones, we have some more, but they are reduced day by day, and I guess I have to bake some new ones before Christmas time. Yeah, back to Lahti, a few pictures on that as well. Yeah, this is Lahti famous for. It's the ski scamping site. So on these devices, very brave people are running down with skis and then jumping as far as possible. Um, it's nice to see, and they do it sometimes in the night, and then it's very special to be there and to have a look what happens. And it's again a nice party with Finnish people on that. Yeah. A picture of Santa Claus again in my family, and yeah, that's taken in Rovaniemi when we, of course, met him, and he can speak several languages, and he was speaking Portuguese with my wife, and he was speaking German with me, until I told him I'm from Bavaria, and then he switched to Bavarian and said Lederhosen, Hofbräuhaus, and all these kind of things. So it was very nice meeting him there. Last but not least, I would like to thank you all very much, especially for your excellent work and commitment for the faculty and the university, for giving me the opportunity to learn and listen from you, for showing strength and resilience in these exceptional times, and for taking care on each other, being helpful and mindful to each other. My special thanks going to Janice, Pam, Frank, John and Anke, Alfredo and Heidi, as well as Andrew and Guy, and they make my transition to come to Canada and to settle in Winnipeg as smooth and nice as possible. And thank you very much for that. I also would like to thank my family because, yeah, they are supporting my crazy ideas, moving during a pandemic to another continent, to another city. My beautiful wife, my little boy, my pa, my mother-in-law, and my sister, and also I sent, I sent my thoughts to the people which are not there anymore. Sorry for that. Yeah. With that, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Judine, Stefan Flugmacher Lima, plus his family.